of the NFL has us in downtown New Orleans at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Los Angeles Rams and the New Orleans Saints. Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What works in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This will be taken short. And they'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
If I love you, better say that you love me. And if I trust you, better say that you trust me. Step out the bag, pull up the squad. I'm at the bank on the time, don't run. I said I'm on the road, I cannot stop. I'm running through obstacles, I'm in the gear. Stop that. 25 niggas just drop that. If you shoot first, we gon' pop that. Marshall, only long nigga that's what you got on. First rest who made a night. I say my righteous girl, yeah, she ain't right. When I hit that girl, right.
They'll try and start 4 yards the result on the first play for scrimmage. Second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're back in power, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score. You give yourself your best chance.
If they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Ready, set, go.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up second and 6. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up near the 42. The return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense in the first drive. They picked up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away as they saw over the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into error. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball.
And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Only thing in my pocket is probably on some blue shadow. She try to leave me alone. Then she got right on my comment. I hope that she do better. I know it's good, she's on me. Oh, when I got 50s on me, I call it shit. Google with me, so I call that girl. I am the richest nigga in my city.
Oh my God, what a
He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. He showed his shiftiness and his explosion to take him all the way down near the goal line.
Love that description, and it creates momentum. Maybe you hand it to him again since he's got it going, or do you fake it to him and throw it to a teammate? Right now, the options are wide.
good job,
The D
dude.
not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. From the 2 down, second and goal.
I ain't never been no type that moves. Going like this, I ain't getting no step. Everything I got, man, I gotta do.
Try to punch it in with Eckler. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Austin Eckler, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. What's good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game.
Close to 2 out of
After the touchdown. Let's to kick it off.
And I'm waiting for that backside route, man. Baiting it, man. Takes too long.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
It's good, man. It's good.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to 26.
They're trying a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down now, it's Gordon. It appears he'll be a few inches short, so 9 yards on the gain officially, and it'll be 3rd down. With a lot of the media, Charles, ourselves included, starting to prep those MVP ballots, you wonder if last week's performance, which he admitted was not very good, if that hurt him at all coming down the stretch.
Less than 50 yards on the ground in last week's game that you referenced, and let's face it, he had another game like that, no reason for the MVP discussion. He won't even be talked about anymore. He has to bounce back with 100+ in this one in order to stay in that race.
They'll try and run. Here's Gordon. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. Now play fake here on 1st down.
Oh, come on.
Incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
And it can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Let's fly for Thielen. In a heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
This is a 1-yard safety.
By Jalen Ramsey.
What the hell?
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down the score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
I know the speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And Darnold just beating the play clock.
That's a long thing about leg being in the weak ass
The
up
Saints 1st down there on a gain of 11.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful of one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Thank you. Leaves. We stay still right now. Ready, set, go.
On 1st and 10. It's complete to Robinson. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Okay, jump on the chest, I'm a parent. Okay, but I'm not talking.
They just do get the playoff as you're with to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. Right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Throwing here on third down, Darnold. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the lead moves to 10-10. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was a nice score.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
This is when you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach your danger with a little bit of humor, maybe break the ice a little bit. Like, hey, get this practice in that color jersey on, that player that you're throwing it to, or maybe you have to be stern with it. Whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. On third down, this is Melvin Gordon. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in what you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week. You must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. You mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Amazing, perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
She say my name is only thing she say me under is probably that you know I don't got problem. Only thing in my pocket is probably some blue shot. She try to leave me alone. Then she got right with my comment. I know that she do better. I know this bitch is on me. But when I got 50s on me, I call it shit loose shot. Jeremy Scott's all on my feet. I had a cool with me, so I call like a cool.
They started on the ground with Eckler. And he'll get this up to the 4 right about there, and that's about it. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Hey, team 6, team 6. Here
we go. Hey, alert 3.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Good job, good job.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down.
56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike. Come on. Mike 56. Mike 56. Let him know.
A shotgun snap for Darnold. And Robinson with a big catch.
I should have known, man. That's all this nigga doing, man. Come on.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
56. Watch the pass. 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike. 65.
Darnold on first down. Thomas has got it. Complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Slam.
They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler.
Come on, damn, man.
34, good enough for the first. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Stays on his feet. And great yardage here all the way deep into Los Angeles territory. A huge play there on the screen pass. 46 yards. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. I know.
Hey, Charlie.
57. Mike, 57. Watch the flood. Watch the flood. Watch the flood. Watch the flood. No red, ain't he? 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 80. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Latavius Murray, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
Let's go.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Flush to his right. Going right side here, and that's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now they run from the gun with Gordon. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Second and 4. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They'll give it to Gordon out of the shotgun. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd, as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. They'll run for it. It's Gordon. And he'll have the 1st down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down.
Come on, set. 15 line. 15 line. Go. Right up.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Sets up the screen to Gordon. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. So maybe just a momentary setback on what's been a great drive so far, but 2nd and 13 here. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
70, Indy. 22-jet bomber, 22-jet bomber.
Kill.
Hey, lock it.
Slam.
Hey, Sam off.
Check the backer. Wall.
Get Leo. Now. Spike.
2nd and 13. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. The intended receiver, Josh Reynolds. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Here we go. 60 outlaw. Hey, exit.
Check 50. Mike, 48.
Makes 3. 218, chopper.
Alert 3.
Hey, orbit.
48 for Mike. It's coming this way. Here we go.
Go.
Here we go. Switch.
Ready.
Back to throw. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. 4th down after the New Orleans defense holds serve. Tavecchio puts this one through. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
He had a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Stay with your man.
Quick the edge. Come. And 80. 57 to Mike.
Smooth.
57 to Mike. Yeah.
Off of play action, Darnold. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Von Miller make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long.
Top dog. 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike.
And keep it done.
Here's Darnold. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
SOS.
Go, 80.
57 Mike.
Hey, echo.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
Mike's 57. 57's Mike. Hey, good.
Darnold from the gun. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned. Because some
Come
teams
on, block,
to
bro.
start half, other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in a big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Check 25. Check 25.
On 2nd down, it's Gordon. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Chopper. Yes. Yo, Jackrabbit, come on. Shoot.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up fourth down. Here's Johnny Hecker now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple.
57, Mike, 57. All right, red 80. Let's go. Hey, let's get this. 57 to Mike, 57 to Mike.
Now it's Darnold.
Oh my God, come on.
Good effort there, trying to take a shot.
Oh my goodness.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. On third down, here's Eckler. And he's out of bounds.
Oh my God, man.
35. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. First down, and they stick with Eckler. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That really sets him back. A loss of 6.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
They'll try the right side with Eckler. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly, and this one could be coming back. You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Quick hitter here, it's complete.
Hey, you! You gonna see me in your nightmares, son! You gonna see me in your nightmares!
57 to Mike, 57 to Mike.
Not here!
3rd and long, it's Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
80 weapon.
Switch up, switch up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn it
Hey,
up.
Alpha.
Turn it up.
Here's 2nd and 8. Gonna throw right side here, complete. First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards. Now Gordon on first down. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now the handoff comes to Gordon. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage.
Let's go, baby.
A gain on the play. First down, Rams.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Watch the slip. Watch the slip. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
General West.
Mike, 48.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback.
Check 26.
Hey, Jet.
48. Big stop, D. Big stop.
Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. It'll be a loss of 1. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Go. 10 over.
Give these traps. Let's go.
Shoot. Watch the shoot. Pilot, 64. Weak.
Check 48's the mic. You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me.
5.
2nd and 11. That's complete. It's Gordon. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 23.
61. Matchbox lights. Hey, wahoo.
Mike, 48. Here we go.
Ready?
Back to throw now on 1st down. And they're going to get him. He's sagged back around the 28. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. The Rams on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 14.
X3. 218. Chop.
48's Mike. 48's Mike. Cover. Jack.
Get it.
Back to throw here. And he's taken down here by the Saints.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. And the pressure gets to him again. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And the Saints will have the football back. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Going on the ground with Eckler. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. That was shades of Tennessee volunteer football back in the 80s with Charles Davis coming up from the secondary to make the tackle for a loss.
You mean my teammates doing that, right? Because they would tell you, my coach would say, where's that tape? I want to see that. But how about the complete package there? Not just playing the pass, but being a willing tackler and making a really nice play.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. He'll return it from the 6. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But
Oh my God.
that they had going on offense, they want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Levante David, and he'll bring this one back to the 29. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Under crunch. Cloud.
Here's Eckler, and I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Now Eckler. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. 7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This to make it a 3-score game late. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This to make it a 3-score game late. And Lutz's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Another tote for Gordon. He's been busy this afternoon. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Saints. And that will write a finish to this ball game. So this one a victory here for New Orleans. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that would be their last points of the game?
No, I mean, what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Saints, the win is their 5th of the year as they move to 5-8.